through. And Eddie Neal will be joining us shortly, but right now he's going to be starting in goal for the Detroit Red Wing Alumni. This is the first of several games that Media Network of Waterford will be covering with you this year, and also live stream sports broadcasting. Tonight, in our lineups, we have the Michigan Warriors, an amateur team, playing for charity against the Red Wing Alumni. Always money is raised. All the memorabilia, autographs, and that, a portion of the proceeds goes to a charity of the choice of the Detroit Red Wing Alumni squad. And tonight in goal, Eddie Meal, longtime Detroit Red Wing, New York Ranger, will be in net. He's going to start, but he's going to be joining me on the microphone. Eddie doesn't play as much as he used to. Believe it or not, he's over 60 years old, but he likes to start. He's an affable guy. I just heard another Eddie story this week from someone who works in the Alumni Club. George Bowman will be working in net for the Wings. Some of the Red Wings in the lineup tonight will be Brent Fedek, Peter Klima, Jared McCarty, John O'Grodnick are the names that you've all heard of. Also Craig Wollenden, who never played for the Red Wings, but a long-time NHL player. Also other guys that played at various levels of the NHL and also professional leagues. John Finstrom, Lorne Knopf, Sergei Harin, Pat Ribble, Sergei Samsonov, a name that's very familiar to Metro Detroiters, Paul Weber and Tommy Williams, who played for the LA Kings under Barry Melrose's squad, who won an NHL title way back in the mid-90s. We're going to tell you about the Michigan Warriors right now as Josh Krajewski, Joe Ramirez, Ben Hurley, Mike Palmer, Chris Salters, Mike Fair, Mike Wolf, Adam Gaddis, Jeff Holman, Trevor Sowers, Dave Denhart, Dan Bogosian, Joe Baker, Joe Sosnitska, Justin Weiss, John Batu, Mike Alano, and also Ryan Saja will play for them. Scott Solomonson is the head coach for the Michigan Warriors. Both squads are coming over to the benches. We will be doing the usual, and that's a Star Spangled Banner, as the Red Wings have taken the ice kind of late, and now they're kind of burying that puck in the net. Now, the way the game is going to work until we get to the Star Spangled Banner, which will happen momentarily, is that we're going to have a first half and a second half. And you're going to go, really? That's right. We're going to play two 25-minute periods. There will be an intermission after 25 minutes, and it will be a running clock. Now, this is our first time with the Red Wing Alumni, so I don't know if they're going to stop it for a second at the end of goals and things like that. But if the puck is ice, the clock will continue to run. And people don't realize this about the Red Wing Alumni. Some of these guys are right off the NHL. Some of these guys are still in their 30s when they play, and other guys, they are in their 60s, even in their 70s, that will come out and play. And now, here comes our PA address announcer. The handshake at center ice. Joe Ramirez is the captain, and now we have the celebrity puck toss, and it's John O'Grodnick for the Red Wings. And actually, it's Darren McCarty. D-Mac is out on the ice. Just heard him the other day on 105.1. He has been on the riff and many different radio stations. Well, now he's on 105.1 after that lineup shake. As a lot of you know, Drew is no longer on that station, and so their whole lineup is shifted, and D-Mac has worked himself into the mix over there. I want to tell you about a late addition coming in for the Red Wing Alumni. Rolf Nilsson, the owner of the OHA team, I guess it's the Flint Admirals. He is going to be skating a little bit. He's a great big supporter of the Red Wing Alumni. And anyway, he's going to be skating and taking a few shifts this evening as well. Puts a lot of money into this, and of course he's developed all kinds of players. Now let's go back over to the PA announcer. Now comes our honor guard and the introductions for the Warriors. And with that, our game is about ready to begin. Obviously, the Red Wings are in their longtime home Reds, and the Warriors are in their red, white, and blue uniforms. And our color guard performed admirably before the start of this hockey game, and they're going to get the net on its moorings and we'll be ready to roll. Once again, Eddie Mio will start in the net for the Red Wings alumni, and Joe Baker was supposed to start in that, but it looks like Dave Denhart will start for him, but they'll probably switch off at some point during our game this evening. The Red Wing alumni, the trainer is John Papara, the doctor is Terry Brennan and Greg Maliki. I believe I have that right. The chiropractor is Ed McGuiston. Our media photographer is Newman, and our refs tonight are Craig Nat and Perry Vellucci. And memorabilia is being handled by Dave Bergen and DeLange. Not sure what DeLange is, but we'll find out about that. We also have some other games coming up on our schedule, and when we find out about those, we're going to let you know, at least graphically. I do know that we are going to be doing the game against Team USA on Tuesday night, and that game will feature 3 Detroit Red Wing Hall of Famers, Mickey Redmond, Dino Ciccarelli, and Larry Murphy will all be on the ice, plus a whole host of phenomenal players. I know Grodnick's going to be there, Peter Klima, and some other players we're going to kind of sprinkle in, and we'll let you know on those. But Media Network of Waterford, we're sprinkling these games, both this and live stream sports broadcasting to you. And our starters, Fedek, Klima, and DMAC will be the starters on the wings for the Red Wings. Grodnick, believe it or not, will play defense as well as Willenan. And this time the faceoff is controlled by the Michigan Warriors and Mike Wolf as this puck is put out in front of the Red Wing net, centered and quickly taken away, and it looks like it's going to be Grodnick. Some of the Red Wings will play with helmets, so Grodnick is not one of those that will do that. Actually, it's Peter Klima on the wing. Klima's grayed out since we last saw him about 20 years ago, and back out there at the top of the circle, Klima has it. On a back pass, it's going to go out over the blue line as Fedek will give chase, and Klima They'll play it off the boards at center ice as the Red Wings look to go across ice, trying to break into the blue line. Going along the sideboard left is going to be Fedek. Fedek behind the net. As this time he's going to turn around Joe Baker. It's going to be centered and peppered toward the net by Weber. It's out, and on the rebound is going to be directed just wide by McCarty. And it's going to be put out over the own red line. Skating out with it'll be the Warriors. Warriors going cross ice up over center ice. It'll be a line change for the Warriors, their first of the game. And Eddie Mio, I think, has already taken a seat on the bench for the Red Wings. He's supposed to join us as soon as he gets a chance. We'll let him catch his breath, although he didn't have to do a whole lot in the early going. And this time with the Red Wings, Williams looking to give it up on point. He skates over to the side of the net. This time skating with it is going to be Fedek. And they try to put it on line, but this time it's going to be intercepted by the Warriors, and they're going to skate out over center ice. Skating with them will be Adam Gaddis, and Gaddis is still on the puck. Tries to tip it out to the point for Seja, and Seja can't get the handle. He'll try to give it out there to Hurley, and Hurley has it out between the circles as this puck is going to be directed toward the Red Wing net as Paul Weber will get the intercept, and now the Red Wings will skate out of their own zone. They'll look to center it over center ice as this time the tape passing is just evident, and this time it's going to be Samsonov who took an absolutely beautiful feed from Tommy Williams and nearly had the game's first goal. And this time the puck is going to be held in. Williams with it. Williams over at the side of the circle. Williams is going to this time hassle Gaddis behind the net as that time it skips over Sergei Samsonov's stick, and it's going to come out over center ice. As with it is Krajewski. Krajewski looks to direct it on, but it's going to be a poke check off him, and the puck is going to be centered, and the Red Wings with the intercept. With 22 and a half minutes to go in this opening block. And yes, you did hear that right. There are two 25-minute periods, and that's what we have. It's a running clock. Samsonov at the net with a deke. Samsonov with a backhand. Scores! O'Grodnik will get one assist, and it's going to be the Red Wings Alumni 1-0. And
you taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
And I remember when many years ago, when I did a few play-by-play games, I think it was for Livonia Cable or whatever, one of the teams was trying to, they were giving Alex Del Vecchio and some other guys kind of a hard time. And all they did was get their motor going, and they literally put like 5 goals in the net in about a minute and a half, and the other team just said, you know what, we're going to back down. And, you know, the Red Wing alumni, they're out here to have a good time, show some skill, show that they still have it in flashes. As on the intercept, the Warriors, as they try to skate out of their own zone, whether it'll be Hurley. Hurley going over on side of the wing now to Sosnitsa, and Sosnitsa will lose a handle on that as they look to Drant. Put that one on net, as that time it was George Bowman who made the save, as the shot by Ramirez wasn't able to get through. Playing it back on point will be Bogosian, getting his first action tonight. One of the few players in the green, look kind of green, I don't know, red, kind of like the old New Jersey Devil colors. As the Red Wings looking to play it out of their own set. They have it, it'll be Fedek. Fedek out over center ice, playing with a big white hat. It looks like it's going to be O'Grodnik. O'Grodnik is playing with his white helmet, as this time it'll be Fedek. Fedek looking to give that puck out and center it out in front of the net to Knopf, who isn't able to do anything. We're getting the announcement on the first goal, but we'll get it for you at the intermission. 20:40 is what we have left to play in this opening block, as it's 1-0 Red Wings Alumni. And this time a puck is going to be put on net. That time Bowman will make the save, and they scored! It's the equalizer. 1-0 is our game score, and we're tied. It was not put in there on Eddie Mio. Time I brought the goaltender down to the ice, as we are knotted at a pair of ones early on, as we have a rolling clock, and it will roll once again during the goal stoppage. It's 1-1 is our game score, as this time it'll be Palmer. We're going against Peter Klima, playing at center for the Red Wings Alumni, and That time they're going to let the Warriors win the draw, and yep, they did. They let them win that one. As this time the Wings will get to control of the puck. Klima's going to go on a blind dish to Williams. Williams with it over at the side. Klima looking to center, has nobody home, bounces it off the boards to McCarty, puts it on net and score! And this time on the rebound, it's Williams after a feed from Klima, and it's 2-1. And once again, these guys are just basically, they're just going to kill the net. They're going to put some calluses on that tonight if they elect to do so. So we have already had 3 goals scored in the first 5.5 minutes of our contest with the clock rolling. Roy Akers with you as we are at the Lindell Arena, located in Royal Oak, Michigan. As this time our puck is going to be centered, and it's going to be the Warriors back in their own zone. Sowers with it over at the side of the circle, playing it off the boards. Nice tip pass, not able to be controlled. This time it'll be Craig Wollinen who will tip it, but it'll be intercepted right now by Weiss. Weiss looking to direct that puck at the net, and the Wings looking to have a blue line pass. It's going to be controlled by the Warriors, as this time Mike Farre will go back into his own zone, and between the Blues, the Red Wings with the intercept. And with it, it's going to be Klima again. Klima with the right-hander goes back to McCarty. Didn't have to. Beautiful pad save. Klima could have finished that one off himself, but was trying to show the fanciness. That time, he was in so deep on the goaltender, Denhart, that it was better off for him just to pass it back to D-Mac, but I think he could have finished that one. But instead, it will draw a whistle out at center ice with our 2-1 game score. Are they saying he scored? There's no.
Millions of loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and adopt already.
No way, he did not score on that play. They're bringing out the center ice like they're going to say he did get the goal. I thought it was a pad save, but they say it did cross the goal line, and it's going to make it a 3-1 Red Wing Alumni lead. We'll take a look at some of these goals on the instant replay tonight and show you those so that you can see those actually crossing the goal line. But unlike, we do not have that. We're not Fox Sports Detroit. We do not have the instant replay, but we will have that after the first of the year, as we have some new additions still happening as our truck is being re-outfitted. The Wings are now controlling the opening zone. 17:45 is what we have left to play. Fedek, this one will chip this one off the stick of Joe Krajewski, and this time it'll be the Michigan Warriors. Oh, they have their pocket pick. As this time trying to bring it in, it's going to be Finstrom. Finstrom's pass is going to go across ice, won't find the outstretched arms of Samsonov. It'll go out over center ice, and going back to touch that puck will be Pat Ribble as he goes behind the Red Wing net, and he will look to bring it out of his own zone as they're going to chip it out over the blue line, and now with it, skating will be Sergei Samsonov, the ex-Detroit Viper player, over to Fedek, who had a long career with the Red Wings, and now between the circles, feeding it back to be Fedek. Fedek between the circles once again, getting it back after getting it up, and it'll be an intercept by Aluno, and Aluno has this pocket pick by Ribble, and now skating in backhanded, it's going to be Finstrom, the former professional player, playing all over the place, and Finstrom this time will draw a beautiful save by Denhart as he tried to hit the logo, and our game score remains 3-1. Red Wing Alumni out. I'd like to thank all our volunteers giving up a great night at college football to bring you this game. I'd like to thank Joshua Bowren, who needs to go to the Palace anytime, right, Joshua? He's leaving right now. Set us up tonight. I'd like to thank our director tonight, Diana Cassetti. I'd like to thank her husband for coming out, Amber Curran. I'd like to thank Mason Tingstad. Also, Brad Shaw, our photographer tonight. I'd like to thank Newman and everybody over there. We're going to tell you about the Red Wing alumni schedule. We're looking at doing some other things. We're really looking forward to it, and it should be fun. A near tip pass, and it's going to be intercepted. Best chance of the game. John Batu puts it backhanded, losing the handle on his goddess. He kind of finished that play, and they go underneath it, and it cut the lead to 3-2. And right now it's a one-goal game, and these Michigan Warriors are showing that they are not some leatherling leather lung players. They are the real deal, and they have cut this Red Wing alumni lead to 3-2 as our clock continues to roll. Remember, we have no stoppage tonight except for between the period as we played our opening 9.5 minutes of our first of two 25-minute periods. It was going to be ruled a save. We thought it was a goal. It was a save. The goaltender Bowman looked for it like he gave it up. And now with it, it's going to be a cross-ice pass. The Wings are on side. As this time it's going to be, it looks like McCarty. They're going to feed back out on the point. Looks like they have number 6 who's not, oh it is, Craig Woolen enlisted on a roster. As that puck's going to skip along behind the Warriors net in the slot. The puck's going to be chipped wide, this time by Johnny Ogrodnik. And this time the Wings will still keep it. It's going to bounce off a couple of players into the corner. Ogrodnik will feed it on a blind dish. It's going to be Karin who will come over and he'll shoot the puck around the boards to Ogrodnik. And Ogrodnik is going to tie it up with sticks and skates with Batu and others. And on the GoPro, you see a couple of Warriors players are using those tonight as they're getting some good names or keepsakes for this game. As the Wings go along the side of the net, McCarty on a wraparound. That time it'll be Denhart will simply stuff him, and kipping out with it will be Ryan Seja. And Seja go across ice. It'll allow Sowers and other players from the Michigan Warriors to come off the bench. As this time it'll be the Wings coming out of their own zone at center ice. Wings are going to opt for their own line change. And this time it's going to be Peter Klima on a blind dish pass. He'll go backside over to Rolf Nielsen. He's the owner of the Flint Admirals, the team that moved up for the old Plymouth Whalers. And before that, the Windsor Spitfires has taken one of his few shifts on the ice this evening. The Wings back in their own zone with 13:50 to go. Clock continuing to run as Livestream Sports Media Network are combining to bring you the action tonight. As this time it'll be Williams going behind his own net. It's going to be Ryan Sosnitsa, and Sosnitsa will have a play off Nielsen's skate, and this time Klima is going to go on a side dish over to Knopf, and Knopf will feed it wide. He has, working behind his own net, looking to see, they have for the Wings Tommy Williams, and Williams puts it on. He tried to feed it off the back of Denhart to kind of use him as leverage to get a goal, and he almost did it, but instead it was Denhart with a beautiful save, and our game score remains 3-1. So far tonight, we thought that the Warriors got their second goal, and they did not. And it looked like the Wings had one. They did not, but it's a 3-1 game score. It's going to be a blind dish, and on the intercept, it's going to be taken by Klima. Klima on a diagonal pass up over center ice. Has it another diagonal pass, and they're going to go from sideline to sideline. Klima being stick checked this time on a nice poke. As that time nearly knocking it away is Sosnitska. As this time the Red Wings are going to feed it out. As this time Knopf over to Fedek. And Fedek has to shoot that one there between the logo. It's going to be an intercept to Bogosian. And Bogosian will feed it up and over skating that puck. Going back to come and get it is Kevin Carfano, and Carfano, I should say. He said Yo is in Adrian. We were talking before the game. I'm pronouncing his name right. He said his name has been pronounced every which way throughout his life. And this time on the interceptor, it's going to be Samsonov. Oh, on a beautiful blind dish. That time Finstrom is going to put the deke and just taking Ramirez right out of his shorts that time, as that puck wouldn't get through, but it was a dandy, just showing the skill of these former professional and NHL players, and they're showing they still have it. As this time it's going to be Klima at the circle. It's going to put it down below. As this time it's going to be on the near intercept. The Red Wings are going to keep it inside, as Wolonen this time will feed it over to Finstrom. Finstrom with it over, taking a look, it looks like it's going to be Pat Ribble. Ribble back over to Finstrom over on the circle right. Tries to chip it up, and on a backhanded pass, it's going to be on the intercept as Ramirez that time poked it away from Peter Klima, who was going behind the play. And Peter Klima from Czechoslovakia, longtime NHL player. He won one Stanley Cup with the Edmonton Oilers in 1990 and one of those post-Wayne Gretzky teams for Edmonton. They still had Mark Messier and some of those guys on that team. And what a skillful player. He was one of the players that helped turn the Dead Wings or Dead Things into the Red Wings after the long time. And there could have been a penalty call, as that time it was certainly played with a high stick. by the Warriors, but this time the officials are going to let this play carry on with 10:51 to go, as right now the Warriors are going to elect to have a line change as Ben Hurley will play it out on the side of the circle. Hurley tries to direct it at the Wings net, and I'll tell you, there was a big fat rebound, but there was no one home for the Warriors, and the Wings have their own line change as the Alumni squad will have a new skaters. It looked like it's going to be Karin came out there. Now I've heard Harin and I've heard Hareen, and I've been told it's going to be Hareen is how we're going to call this one here between the periods. As the Wings will play it up over, you got Johnny Ogrodnik playing on the right side. He started at defense tonight, but he's quickly back out on the point. McCarty chips it between the circles. This time Hareen will put it out there to Weber, as this time the Wings are just putting it on each other's stick. And finally the pocket is picked, and it's going to be Jeff Holman. Holman will feed it up to his teammate as it's too far for Aluno, and now the Wings will quickly gain the zone, as this time it's going to be Darren McCarty showing a little goatee. And this time McCarty will play it on a bounce pass behind the net. It's going to be chipped out to Salters over center ice off his stick. And this time going back to give chase will be Lauren Knopf, playing defense for the Red Wing Alumni. Works it around the boards, and the Red Wing squad playing in their dress reds. Love watching those. Remember, for many years, the Red Wings played in their home whites, but the NHL switched that back in the late 90s, and it's been that way ever since, and hopefully it'll stay that way, at least according to me, as Harino, actually, funny behind the play, actually takes a stick off the hat of Craig Nett and kind of bounces it off it just to give him a little show of affection. And that's the cool thing about these games. In an NHL game, you couldn't have a whole lot of fun. I mean, you can, but the repercussions are high. But in these games here, these players have made their bones, and they're able to do as they need to do. As this time, the Warriors have been carrying the play over the last 30 to 40 seconds, as we have 8:50 to go in the first half of this hockey game. And we're not playing in slices of three, where this game is being split in two 25-minute halves, rolling clock. This time the puck is centered by the Red Wing Alumni. Nobody was home, as Pat Ribble was trying to feed Knopf, and it'll end up over ice, as right now the Michigan Warriors have it. They're going to come down the ice to Seja. Seja looking to center. As he goes out in front of the Wings net, they had the goaltender kind of over his outstretched arms, but it was a kick save out over center ice now. Whether it'll be Williams. Williams looking. Williams could have put that one on net anytime he wanted, but he elects to quarterback it. He's going to go over to Fedek. Fedek, longtime NHL player, out front to Williams. Stick save, rebound save as well, and that's going to be a pair of rebounds. That puck did end up behind the net, but I think the whistle blew. We will find out. If the draw's at center ice, they will rule it a goal. Indeed it will be. It should be a, yep, it is.
Welcome to Understood.org, a free online resource for parents of kids with learning and attention issues, with personalized recommendations, tools, and daily access to experts to help your child thrive. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
As that time, keep banging at that puck where the Red Wings, Tommy Williams and company. That's a 3-goal lead for the Alumni. Gaddis will take the draw against Klima. Klima looks like he is skilled. He has more skill than most people in a spare time. I mean, this guy has not played in the NHL in like 20 years, 22 years, and he's still, you can tell that this guy has more skill probably in one arm than most of these players have had everywhere. I mean, this guy had that kind of skill, that kind of speed coming out of Czechoslovakia. And if you remember the old story about Jimmy Devellano, they basically had to change cars. They literally, it was like a spy gig getting them out of the old Czech Republic. Came over and had that long career and played a long time for the Red Wings. Klima just simply takes Ryan Sosnitska off the puck. He just by intimidating him, just by fronting him. I mean, that just goes to show you the intimidation factor he has. There's a puck centered out in front of the net. Looked like that time it was going to be Klima, nearly taking a feed from Tommy Williams, but it'll end up back on point to Fedek. It'll be chipped out of the zone as Ribble will play it out over center ice. And the Michigan Warriors will have a line change with 6.5 minutes to go in the first half of this hockey game. And this time the Red Wings, Peter Klima out just inside the blue line, and on the intercept with it, it'll be Bogosian. Bogosian looking to have a couple of trailers. He's being forced wide by the Alumni defense, and this time Detroit looks to come out of their own zone. They have it at center ice, and on the turnaround it'll be Ramirez. Ramirez out on point to Bogosian. Bogosian looking at his stick handle and nearly has that puck poked away by Rolf Nielsen. And Nielsen that time will knock that one away. It ends up over into the corner as players are still vying over there with 5:51 to play in this opening half of hockey. We're at the Royal Oak Lindell Arena, located off 13 Mile across from the Royal Oak High School, and looks like one of the several public places that they have as this puck nearly played with a high stick by the Warriors. That's a couple times Ramirez has put that stick way up over his helmet. He got called for a penalty in a league game, but no harm, no foul in this exhibition contest. But anyway, there's a lot of public works places in Royal Oak, as the people that live here know, and a lot of people in southeastern Michigan know about all the wonderful parks and recreation, and they have it all over the place. From I think the golf courses are the only thing they're light on, but between the hockey arena and everything else, they have all that. And so this time deep with Samsonov, McCarty really has this pocket picked, as that time he had that puck taken away from his stick as he was stick slapped, as that puck will end up ahead for the Warriors. Warriors will end up in the corner. They look to center that pass, and no one is home. And this time the Red Wings Alumni is going to be 3-on-2. Skating wide with it out on the left side of Spinstrom to the trailer, and it's going to be put out to DMAC, and DMAC puts that one on. Nice glove save, that time by the goaltender, Den Hart, and it'll still be controlled by Lindstrom. Looks that way, it's going to be McCarty, and McCarty, they tried feeding him, as that time Samsonov added as the trailer on that play, and DMAC has had several opportunities in this contest, has another one, stick handles, has his pocket picked, and this time Wollinen is going to skate back, and this time it's going to be the Warriors who are going to be allowed to play it, as that time Wollinen pulls back and gets it out of his own zone. He kind of had the casual stroll and just showed what a long stride he had. Former Olympic player, New Jersey Devil, won a cup with New Jersey. I can't remember the year that he won it. I think it was 2006 when he did it. Ramirez once again will play with a stick off the ice. On the trailer with it, it'll be Mike Alano. Alano puts it up and in, and it's a goal, and it's now a 4-2 game, as it's been halved, as the Warriors, with 3:38 to go in the first half of this hockey game, have cut the Red Wing Alumni lead to 2. This time the draw controlled by the Alumni. The Alumni with the puck over at the side of the circle. They have it over center ice. And with it, you've got Ogrodnik. Ogrodnik coming in with the trailer from Karin. Karin gets it back. Oh, he had a short side. Tries to stuff it between the goaltender and the pipe and just missed. And he had it. And Fedek playing on the line with Nielsen. And Nielsen back over center ice to Knopf, as the Red Wings look to re-tee it up and bring it in with 2:55 to go in this first half of this game. They lead it 4-2 in Royal Oak. They're playing a whole schedule of games. A lot of people want to play against their heroes and former heroes. And on point, Ogrodnik with the wrister, and the twisted wrister. This time we'll find the mitt of Denhard, who puts up the big glove and makes the save. And Ogrodnik is trooping out there on the ice. I think he's trying to say what they want, as there's going to be a face-off on the near side. Ogrodnik played left wing a long time for the Red Wings. I think he played all 3 forward positions. Starting at defense tonight, just out of need for the Alumni. And on that Tuesday game, there's going to be all kinds of defensemen, as it's going to be a big squad taking on the USA national team to be. The Red Wings are looking to skate out of their own zone, as this time it's going to be a blind pass taken by Harin, and Harin had nearly gets that one through to his Red Wing. It looked like that time it was going to be Ogrodnik, but instead the puck played over center ice, as you got players for both squads trying to come out of it, no one with the advantage, and now it's going to be the Alumni. Playing defense is bad too, nearly puts that one on. They had a serious scoring chance, and that one's knocked away. This time going back door is going to be Faré behind the Red Wing Alumni net, And this time it's not going to find its way home through a mass of bodies, and the Red Wing Alumni will chip this one out over center ice, and it will be played as onside with a 2-on-1, and now a 2-on-3 as this time Ogrodnik will play it off a skate. Looks to get the wrister underneath and off. You'll look to have the one-timer, but this time that puck will find its way away from the net with 1:08 to go. First of two halves, and this time on the intercept it'll be Gaddis. Gaddis with it, will chip it out on the short side, and Peter Klima, playing for the first time in several hockey minutes, will chip that one around on the sideboards as we're in our final minute of play of this opening half. And this time the Red Wings, Finstrom between the circles over to Klima, backdoor score. And wow, that was an absolutely beautiful one-timer, this time put away by Tommy Williams, and Peter Klima literally shot that one with a laser. But right under the pads of Denhart, and there was no chance for this man. No way. It's a 5-2 game score. Final 30 seconds, as this time the draw is controlled by the Warriors, as back in their own defensive zone is Hurley out over center ice, giving chase for it'll be Sosnitsa, as they now are making a scrum behind the Red Wing net. And this time they're going to just shoot that one up over center ice with just 10 seconds to go, as players will give chase. Will the Wings get one more goal? They have a 3-goal lead. Klima behind the net, trying to tip it out to Finstrom, and he puts that one on the pads of the goaltender Denhart, and you hear the horn. It's a 5-2 game score, and we'll be back for our second half of action. That's going to happen right after this timeout and festivities, as we're going to catch Peter Klima, who's going to be signing some autographs in between periods 1 and 2.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I bought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Millions of loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and adopt already.
With me is Detroit Red Wing, former Red Wing, Darren McCarty. Darren, I heard you on 105.1 yesterday. Well, you're doing it. You really make the rounds in this town.
I do. I got a lot of things on my plate between doing alumni stuff and doing charity stuff with games, and then doing some radio with 105.1. I'm in commercial real estate with Cushman & Wakefield now, and doing stuff with the Wings. So this time of year, it's hockey season, it's time to get busy, so it's always great to be able to come out and support great charities.
Now, as far as what's going on with the Red Wing alumni? I mean, you're playing so many hockey games. You're playing the one Tuesday. I mean, is this kind of like a full-time commitment for you, isn't it?
No, it's not. You know, it's unfortunate. We all have different lives and stuff like that, so we can't commit to all of them that we like to play in. But, you know, I try to make 5 or 6 a year and do stuff with the NHL alumni too and stuff. So we get out and help support around the community as much as we can. And, you know, we enjoy it. It's great to see the people that come out and support it, and still like to see the old guys throw the puck around.
All right, Darren, we know you're going to go ahead and enjoy yourself. Thank you so much. We'll see you down the road. Thank you.
My pleasure, buddy.
You got it. All right. We are just moments away from the start of the second half of this hockey game. 25-minute periods. A running score is what we have. Running action and a whole shot. Roy Akers with you as Livestream Sports Media Network of Waterford bring you this contest, and it's being cablecast throughout Oakland County and parts of Macomb and Livingston and other places that do want these games, and who doesn't? Peter Klima is going to be taking the draw against Ben Hurley. Klima has absolutely impressed me tonight. His skill level, 20 years past retirement, we said it earlier in the contest, saying it again, is just really, really something else. Let you know, Diana, Eddie Mio is coming down, and he's ready. He's coming down, and he's going to be calling this game with me in just a moment, so we'll make sure we help him out. Okay, he's got it. We just got to hook him up. Okay, super duper. Well, as play continues on in the offensive zone as the Michigan Warriors have it, Eddie Mio, longtime Detroit Red Wing, Edmonton Oiler, New York Ranger, will join us. And how you doing, Eddie? We're going to have you kind of hook that up to your little lapel. We're going to talk on the fly. And last time we saw you, you were in a kind of a costume over at the Joe Kosher Celebrity Golf Outing. Remember that? And you were pretty hilarious. Eddie Mio with us.
I don't know what prompted me to do that, but I thought it'd be a little funny. But it was a little hot in that little costume.
Well, and I bet it smelled because generally Klima goes back door. Look at that, in the net, flutters it off the goal at 6-2.
Yeah, you know what? Peter scored a lot of goals like that.
And that's the thing, Klima, his skill level this many years after retirement is still so high that I can't even imagine watching him, skating along with him all those years and watching him.
Just ask him. He'll tell you his skill level's still there.
Oh, he will? He's a real wallflower.
Yes, he is.
Yes. And so, anyway, with that, Eddie, he introduced you as the best friend of Wayne Gretzky this past summer. Do you still talk to Wayne a lot?
You know what? It's not where we're calling each other all the time, but every once in a while we'll touch base. Obviously, Wayne with the new grandchild and his busy schedule, he's got a lot of friends. I mean, he can't just.
Oh yeah, a guy like him, he's got friends.
Yeah, I mean, he would spend 8 hours a day just talking to friends, So when we have to, we do. We see each other once a year at his fantasy camp in Vegas, which is a hoot for 5 days, and so we catch up the whole year with those 5 days.
Yes, and I have stories. I have a friend of mine who works at the Detroit Red Wing Alumni Club. You probably know Donna Reed, don't you?
Oh, yes, I do.
And so Donna Reed, I just saw her yesterday.
Yeah.
And she says she works the club and sees you all the time. And well, anyway, what's it like being a member of the Detroit Red Wing Alumni? It's another goal, and it's now going to make it 7-2. What's it like, being an alumni? I mean, you get to come and go as you please, but you're still pretty active.
Well, what it is, it's more the camaraderie that I think when you retire, the biggest thing is you miss the guys and the interaction in the dressing room. You're spending 7 months with the same team, and for most of us that have done it more than 5 years, it's part of your life. So I think what the alumni does is not only fill that void for a lot of us, but we get to play, like games like this. We get to help out charities, and especially this one. This is very dear to our heart, and it's just so much fun meeting people. I mean, if you know most hockey players, we're pretty reachable. And
everybody says you guys are some of the nicest professional athletes out of all the sports, for sure.
Yeah, we don't mind meeting people. Okay, it's not like we shy away. The biggest thing when we get together is we tell each other how good we used to be.
Yeah, I imagine the old fishtails certainly get really big. Where the fish get bigger and bigger the longer you're retired. Well, now the Michigan Warriors, how do they rank? They're not really ham and egg players. They are an organized team. What is it like when you play against a team that wants to kind of measure themselves against how you play and used to play? You know what I mean by that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, you know what? A lot of these games we try and make fun, okay? Meaning have some fun. Get them involved in the game. And then there's some teams that really are pretty serious, and those are the ones we we try and either school them. This is a good game. They're trying hard out there, but it's a good squad. We played them before. We all know each other, and you know what? They got a few good players here. And remember, each one of these guys has a disability, so that in its own ranks them ahead of us anytime.
Yeah, these guys come out. I know that there was a team that had a lot of players that were, you could definitely tell they were special needs in the game before this. I don't know if this team is part of the league, but as far as the Detroit Red Wing Charities is concerned, what is kind of dear to the players' heart? Is there one in particular?
You know what? I can't say that there's one. I mean, obviously.
There was a goal scored against George Bowman. Shame on him. PGA players should not be allowed to play in these games.
And I gave him a nice lead too.
You did. It was 7-2. Now it's like 7-4.
Yeah,
and you can tell the first half of this game was serious play-by-play. This one here is seriously Eddie Meal.
Well, you know what? If you can't have fun, why do anything in life? And
there you go.
I know that Art Regner and myself had a show on ESPN Detroit. It was short-lived, but Art's coming back. I guess him and Darren McCarty are going to do something on 105.
Well, I'm really happy to hear that. Now he's going to be
Tuesday night. Yeah,
he will be here with me on Tuesday. We definitely want to have you back, and we're talking about a lot of things. We were talking about an alumni show. And we want to do one that doesn't just show hockey, but what you guys are doing in the community, the fun things that you do, and kind of showing the lighter side of how you guys live. And we'd love to have you come out there and do some things with us.
You know what? When Darren and I talked about, we wanted to do a show together on ESPN. Darren obviously had other commitments writing the book, but Art and I had talked about having one day a week where an alumni member comes in and talks about what he's doing now.
That's kind of what we want to do, only on video.
And I think a lot of the people out there really want to know, because there's a new group of hockey fans that don't understand the tradition of the Red Wing alumni being the oldest alumni, number one, oldest NHL, started by Ted Lindsay, Stu Evans, great guys. And what we've done, and we can honor our members of the past like Gary Bergman, Shaky Peters, Joe Kluke. These are all.
Joe used to play in these games. Yes. I remember back when I broadcast these 20 years ago. He would play. Jimmy Peters played, and
we had so much fun. We used to, after practices there, we always used to play birds in the bush.
What is that?
Oh, come on! You've never played it?
No, I didn't play birds in. Eddie, I don't think I want to know.
No, it's a good game.
All right,
everybody starts with 3 coins. Okay.
Oh. I like that money.
And it's in the back. Oh yeah, well you play for money. What do you think? We're not going to waste our time.
Well, some of you guys, I saw your beer order in the back before the game. So.
It's a big pot. It's $1 each. It's a huge pot. So what it is you put any number from 0 to 3 coins in one hand, and then everybody puts it in the middle, and you go around depending on how many guys there are, and you try and guess what the number is going to be. So if there's 10 people, right?
Yeah.
That's a total of 30 coins. So you can go anywhere from 0 to 30. And it just was so Alex, Shaky Peters, Ted Lindsay, we just did everything. And it's
thanks, Eddie.
It's a fun game, but we don't do it too much. But that's kind of some of the things that went from the 70s into the 80s, the 90s. Now, obviously a lot of guys have kids, so they're coaching teams. But when we do get together, it's a great, great event.
Now, you saw back on point, playing, we had Paul Weber just a few moments ago, trying to center that one. Yeah. Finstrom. Now, Finstrom really has some skills. Look at him go back door. He just got robbed. Let's do a little play-by-play in combination of talking to you.
Well, we've just missed Klima's goal again.
Yeah, and Klima scores again.
Cherry picker.
And and Klima, wow, I guess you said that he'll probably be in his own solo band after the game, talking about how great he has been great in this game.
Well, you know what? As much as I kind of knocked Peter down, we obviously need him in these good games. So, especially, have you seen what Samsonov's been doing tonight?
Yeah, Samsonov has played very, very well. Just a tremendous amount. Like I watched Craig Woolen, and he could outskate a player to the puck. He usually let somebody go by on defense, and he quickly took it away from him.
Well, you see that reach? that
He
Richard
does.
has is, he's huge. He's a monster out there.
Yeah, he's a big guy, and the former New Jersey Devil Olympian. And look out on the point. Look what we have. Look at this, and just what
Finner.
moves with the double one.
Great save, though. Great
Yeah.
save. Took everything away from him right there. Finner was in all alone, and
Look at the stick
a fine
handling.
stop.
Forehand, backhand, and look at Brent Fettig. Now Fettig, didn't he have some back problems? Did that end his career a little early? Did he have a little bit of back there?
You know what? I think we all have our back problems. We have lots of issues now. But yes, Fed's got a little injury there his last year. I'm not sure if it was New York or Philadelphia, but it just caused him not to be able to do it at his level.
Yeah, and so once again, the players coming out playing in these hockey games. Now this
We just got to go.
Yeah, they did get a goal, and we're up here talking and blocked out by a camera. And it looks like George Bowman. I tell you what, Eddie, he gives up anymore, and I'm going to lose you as a color commentator.
No, don't worry, I'm done. I
You're
did
done
my
for
25
tonight.
minutes.
You
That's
did your
it.
25.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You played the entire first half of the game. We should say is it's a 8-4 double lap score. As once again the Red Wing alumni is up by 4 goals with just 14:25 to go in this game. Klima, he didn't really have to pass that one to Fedek, but showing that he did that at the goal line. It's going to be poked away by the Warriors.
Oh,
And
there's
this
a
time
good
Salters,
play.
Yeah,
Oh,
Salters
Lauren
put it up the
Knopf got
sideboards.
really caught there.
And that's the kind of play that you get by some of
Yeah.
these teams. And once again, it's going to be Klima kicking it to himself. He's going to go on the drop pass to Fedek. Fedek's going to chip it out front, and this time the trailer to Finstrom. Finstrom will chip it across ice over to Klima, and Klima can't get the handle as that puck is stick slapped up into the air. And Eddie, it looks like the Warriors showing that they have some game.
They got, you know what? They've got some good players on there, and you can't take them lightly. Especially this play by Lauren Knopf, committed way too early. He made a real nice play off the boards, got a shot, and scored.
And with that, it's 13 and a half minutes is what we have left to go. Players out on the ice. Now, the one thing that people don't understand about some of the Red Wing alumni, they go, well, Craig Wallen didn't play for the Red Wings, but he's from, but explain, I know how it works. Well, explain to the audience how it works to be a member of the Red Wing alumni.
Well, what we have criteria, and we have certain stages where you're an alumni member. We have obviously the original members being anybody that wore the wing.
Right.
You're an automatic member. You're the big member.
Yep.
Then we have a thing called the associate member, which is you played in the NHL.
There you go.
Because this area here is so great for NHL players, and
You're loaded with them.
We're loaded with them, and they all help out. Sergei Samsonov, his beautiful career. If you
Baker
remember.
coming in as a goaltender
Baker's
now.
coming in. I think I can't remember. He got hurt on that last play, but
he sure did.
so a guy like Samsonov, number 14, who's one of the most skilled players that ever played in the NHL. Great.
Oh, yeah.
He lives in the area. He never played for the Wings. He was Boston and then Vancouver a little. Craig Wallen, as you mentioned, Stanley Cup winner, New Jersey, Colorado. We have Brian Smolinski, who's not here, who's a wonderful 17 years, I think. So the list goes on.
Is he in the NHL Hall of Fame yet, or
No.
he will be? That's happening.
Yeah, let's hope. That'd be great because he's a wonderful individual and he's a great guy.
Well, back door, Williams tips it over the glove.
Speaking of associate, right there, Williams is an associate, played for Los Angeles and New York.
And he scored a bucket load of goals. Williams scored 190 goals and 390 points in his longtime career with the Rangers, Kings, and Blues. And with that, and of course you have the local boys and some of the guys.
Lorny Knopf.
Yeah, who play, I think, for 3 different, like the AHL teams and that in the area.
Pee Wee, we call him Pee Wee.
Yeah,
Herman.
I hear Pee Wee.
Yeah, Paul Weber. But so the thing is because you know how busy we are sometimes with family, okay?
Right.
Everybody can't make these games, but we always try and have a pretty good turnout of at least 5 original Red Wings, and the rest of the guys add up.
And not able, I'll tell you what, standing there, not even able to make a move. It's now a 9-5 game as the Warriors, Bowman never flinched.
No.
And that time the goal is scored as the Warriors have put it home. And you notice, I remember I did an alumni game and somebody was taking a kind of a run at a couple of players many, many years ago. and they said, "Do you really want to do this?" And of course, the players, they just straightened up right after that. And so it takes all kinds, but I think most of them just want to come out and have a good time and play with their heroes.
That's all we want to do is raise, money for charity, raise awareness, especially with these guys, because this is the big thing now with the Wounded Warriors thing. But I think one of those games you're talking about was the Muskegon reunion game.
Wow.
About 2, maybe 3 years ago, where they loaded up with young guys, okay?
Really?
And we had guys hooking Mickey Redmond. Okay?
What?
And hooking him when Mickey was trying to break
You
away.
must be kidding me.
So they beat us 10-2. Okay? Now, I must point out I was not there. So.
well, it would have been 15-2.
Would have been 15-2. Oh, excuse me. But anyways, the next year we came up with
but
a
even
squad.
10 minutes to play. Go ahead.
We came up with a squad the following year.
Yeah.
And put it to them. Okay.
I imagine you kind of brought out the A team.
We made
including
sure,
Mr. T.
Yes.
And I bet Joe Koser played in that game.
He played in that game, definitely. And boy, were they coy. They were just very lambs, So.
Oh, I bet they were. Well, behind the net, trying to get some pressure on the alumni net. Looks like the Michigan Warriors have it, and they're chipping it between the circles and in the corner. And once again, the Red Wings are kind of caught a little bit flat-footed out there, and with just 9-12. You guys get gassed in these games, or you keep up with your win pretty strong?
I think it's a few beers in between periods that the boys had. So, what
a pad save! Now you ought to know about a great pad. Look at that. That brings Eddie Neo clapping. That was him.
Absolutely, Baker, very nice. Took the angle away on him. Had that glove out there almost to say, hey, try and beat me, and he did not. Was that McCarty that shot? Because he's been stoned tonight.
Yeah, McCarty. Well, let's not take that literally, but anyway, Darren has actually gotten in a couple rebound shots, but he's been stonewalled. We won't say stoned, but you're talking about.
You know what I meant.
I know what you meant.
Where's your mind going?
I know. We're just having fun.
Anyway, I'm starting to feel like Paul Woods now.
Yeah, well, Woodsy lived in Waterford. He lived about a mile from me for a long time. I started running into Paul, and I run into him in the weirdest places. Panera Bread, the library. Paul Woods in the library. You'll have to tease him about that. And
I don't think he ever read a book with me while he played with me for 3 years.
Well, Paul is just one of the nicest people.
Or you mean the library pub?
No, the Waterford Library.
I know, I'm kidding. He's reading up on play. Oh!
That one goes off the crossbar put by Ogrodnik.
Wow. Well, you're talking about an over 50-goal scorer there. He knows how to put it in there.
Yeah, and look at him, and he just
put second time.
And that was the twisted wrister from the left side, and that's a goal, and it's now 9-5. And once again, that's Ogrodnik. And that was just a soft wrister. That wasn't the one-timer you'd have saw a long time. I mean, that one found the mark like it had a laser beam attached to it.
Well, you know what? That's what they say most of the time, Roy. It's not how hard you shoot it. It's the accuracy and where you put it. A goaltender sometimes just you think he's limber, but you put it in that right spot. Even though your mind thinking you're moving, by the time you move, it's in.
And those pucks, they travel so fast. They're literally, it looks like a BB coming at you if they're shot fast enough. And this time it's a pad save by Bowman, and a rebound. It's going to be in deep. It's going to be tipped around, and it looks like jabbing at it just a couple of times.
I think that might have went in.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to save. It might have ricocheted in off the pads. He popped it along, and Bowman is still down on the ice. And I'll tell you, Eddie, I don't know who the third-string goaltender is.
Bowman can stay there.
Bowman, they're going to let Bowman lay there. Is that the idea?
Absolutely. Just shoot the pucks at him.
I
we'll
like
be okay.
your compassion for your fellow man.
Well, only because my hip is hurting, and I'm not going in there, Roy. We're going to put the equipment on you.
Well, and that would absolutely be one of the funniest things that we have going here. I mean, talking about that.
Speaking with the Michigan Warriors there, that number 4, Ramirez, he's a pretty good hockey player.
And he likes playing the puck with a high stick.
Yes, he does. He
played 2 of them off over his head.
And he's got a pretty good shot. I'm telling you, he's played somewhere. Whether it's junior or he's played somewhere. You can tell he's always in on the play.
Now, do you like to catch a lot of junior games? You catch one once in a while to say, hey, take a look at this goaltender. This guy here, he's going to be something someday. You ever get that call?
I got to tell you, Roy, I was an agent for 10 years.
Right.
So I saw a lot of games.
Peter Klima just took Ramirez, the guy you talk about, He just sprayed the ice. And that time, Ramirez.
He's not too happy.
And he looks like he just created a ditch on the ice.
He's not too happy with that. Watch out, Peter, next time. So I saw a lot of games 10 years. Then I scouted. I was director of player development.
I think
for
I asked the
Phoenix.
wrong guy that question.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I love it.
No. And so I'm taking a little rest. I'm at every Red Wing game. But as far as the junior games, we come out. We kind of sometimes come out because Ralph, number 4 out there right now with our alumni, he owns the Flint Firebirds.
Yeah,
Plymouth.
Ralph.
So every once in a while he'll ask us to come out, maybe give an opinion of his team.
And I'm sure that you give it. And how are they doing up there in Flint this year?
You know what, they're not
We
bad.
heard the story. We won't get into that.
No, let's not. Yeah.
We're not. But as far as that team, they have a lot of good junior players, a tremendous amount of history. And so it's good to see that they have a good squad up there in Flint.
You know, they're not bad. I mean, the last time I looked, and I'm sure they've played 4 or 5 games since then, but they were 7-9-1. Okay, so that's not bad for a junior team. And I think they're rebuilding. If you want to know about junior hockey, it's usually 3 years you kind of rebuild, then you have that 4th and 5th year,
right,
and then you rebuild again. So
and it's a cycle.
I think that it's a cycle. If you notice, also Generals, they were rebuilding for a while. They end up winning the Memorial Cup. They'll be strong for another 3 years, and then they'll have to, rebuild again through the draft. So I think the Flint Firebirds have got a good organization. They got some good local talent out there, and they're going to do well. And I think it's good for the city of Flint.
And with our game score 10-5, Red Wing alumni back on offense. Samsonov skating wide of the net. That time Ramirez pushes him wide, but he still has it. Being pressured over on the sideboards by Seja as that puck is over by Ribble. Ribble on the left side. He's going to feed it underneath. And this time I've heard this name called a couple of different ways, but Sergei Harin is what I heard.
Karen.
Is it Karen?
Karen.
I've heard Karen, Harin, but it's Karen?
Karen.
We'll go with what you have, Eddie.
It's like the Karen you used to date 10 years ago, remember that?
Well, I will not forget that. I will not forget that anytime soon.
We're having fun, right?
We're having a lot of fun. And with 3.5 minutes to go in this game, it's a doubled-up score as alumni up over the Michigan Warriors. Playing at the Lindell Ice Arena in Royal Oak. John Ogrodnik back on point, playing at the defensive position. He'll skate out of the plays. He'll feed that one underneath, this time to Pat Ribble. Ogrodnik with it, feeds it out in the net, and it's almost a one-timer. And Karen will put this one home with an assist from Ogrodnik. Game score 11-5 with just a few ticks under 3 minutes to go. Ogrodnik, he made that one look very easy.
A very nice pass. This is what I want to say, Roy, is that for the listeners out there that have never really come to a game like the alumni game,
you should come out and see it. You're right up
come
close.
out, because what you're going to see is passing. Even for old guys, they still know where that player is going to be, where it's going to be. As you see, Samsonov started it all, throws it back, gets back to John. They move the puck. Even at our age, we move the puck, and that's what they teach young kids nowadays, move the puck.
Well, that's the thing is you see McCarty this time centering it, ends up over in the corner. But, you may lose some speed, but that's a skill passing, and that's something there that if you just practice it a little bit, you can be very close to what your best that you had earlier. So.
All I can say is to young hockey players right now, if their parents are listening, it's all about hockey sense and obviously speed of the game. And hockey sense will get you to where you want to go, even though it's tough to get there. But if you see the ice well, you make plays, and you know where to be, guess what? You'll have a good shot.
Now Farr comes out of his own zone. He'll put it out over center ice as we'll have a line change employed by the Warriors. As we're down to 1:40 to go, final 100 seconds of this exhibition hockey game between the Red Wing alumni and the Michigan Warriors. We'll have the USA hockey team. Are you guys going to have your hands full that night?
Unbelievable. I'd like to fire the person that set up that game.
Well, we were told we couldn't come initially because I don't know if a dignitary was supposed to be there, but finally Newman said, you can come on out.
Absolutely. You're my guest, right? You can come anytime. Plus, I get to see my old friend Art Regner.
Yes,
you guys are going to be together.
Yes,
so,
we will be together.
So
on
that's
Tuesday
going to be
We're going to take
awesome.
it more serious than we did the softball game. Boy, I tell you, Art can talk War and Peace in an interview and miss 4 innings of baseball.
I got to tell you one thing, Roy, as we wind down here.
Final minute.
One show we did on for ESPN, Art got into one of his rants that you know how he can get.
He got into 4 that game, yeah.
I did not talk for the first 30 minutes.
Dave
of our
Coulier
show.
didn't
Yeah,
talk.
I know.
Dave was like, "Are you sure you're interviewing me?"
He just went off, and I said, you know what, Pete? Like, you got the producer kind of going, Eddie, give me. I said, I ain't touching this. He's on a roll. He goes, but he's a very intelligent man. Him and Mark Wilson, for me, are 2 of those guys that
The old
know,
Channel 2 reporter,
yeah,
right?
They know these stats, Roy. Trust me, that I wouldn't. They come up with crap that you and I, well, maybe not you, but myself, but great guys.
And I'll tell you, we are looking forward to that. And we're down to our final seconds, as you'll hear the horn as Ramirez up over center ice. Our final score is 11-5. You hear the horn. Well, Eddie, we love having you. I'm so glad that you talked. And I'll tell you, right now the players are going to do their post-game handshake.
And we're going to take a picture together, and then a few, camaraderie, you know what.
You got it.
Right, we'll see you on Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll look forward to it.
Okay.
Mike, put your number down there. And then that would be great, because I think when we do the alumni show, we definitely like to put you in the mix on that. And that, it'll be a blast. And I think that we'll do. Oh my gosh, they got a dog out there on the ice and all that. Well, Eddie, we'll look forward to it. We'll let you get out there because you got to go.
No problem. Yeah.
That's part of your.
We'll see you on Tuesday, right?
Yeah, we'll see you in 3 days over
got
at
it,
Plymouth
bud.
Ice Arena.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
having
man. You got it. All right.
They played a great game the other night and a 12-5 win over.
Millions of loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and adopt already.
With me is Red Wing Hall of Famer Larry Murphy. Larry, Red Wing alumni coming out for a big game. How was it like? Did it look like the kids were trying to get your goat, but the goats got the kids?
Well, I think they kind of, when the game started, they took it real easy. They just wanted to see what they're up against. But, I mean, we know we didn't see their best. They got competitive in the second half, but they were real careful not to overrun us, make us look bad. And we appreciate it. It was exciting, though. I mean, just very talented group, and it was fun playing against them. Some of those guys can really skate.
What are you up to these days?
Well, just working for the NHL Network, mostly. Enjoying the retired life, watching the Wings, cheering them on. Hopefully, we'll see them have a long run in the playoffs this season. Looks like they've got things turned around now, exciting young team. So, yeah, I just focus on the network and the Red Wings.
And one final question. The Wings have so many great kids. I was really disappointed to see Landon Ferraro go away. And to the Bruins, it looks like he's got a team that can probably put him out there on the ice. But what do you think the Wings are going to look like in the next couple of years?
Well, that just goes to show you the depth of the organization. They had a big numbers problem, and they had to release one of their young players, and it was definitely not something they wanted to do, but the roster rules forced them into it. And it's like that right there tells you how much depth this organization has and how many young guys, the likes of Larkin, how he's established himself in the National Hockey League. So for the future, it definitely bodes well for this club.
All right, Larry, thank you so much. You enjoy yourselves. Thank you so much for you got it. All right, so with that, we're going to be right back for more of our post-game show coming up in just a few moments as you are watching Livestream Sports and Media Network of Waterford.
We taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
so with that, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out to tonight's hockey game, giving up a night of Michigan played Penn State, and then also Michigan State and Ohio State, and no sense going over results because by the time you see this game, it'll be about 2 weeks from now. So anyway, with that, from Roy Akers, Amber Curran, Mason Tingstad, I'd like to thank Diana Cassetti and your husband.
Gino Cassetti.
Gosh, I know, I'm bad tonight. And also Josh Bowen and Brad Shaw. So once again, here comes the team picture. I'm going to let the public address announcer take it away. We'll come back for final thoughts in just a moment.